My goodness. My wine. Look at this. I never knew it was genetically modified. Oh well. Hi everyone, and thank you for watching. I'm just bathing in the glory of this sunlight. Literally sunbathing, because it feels like the water just is coming. It feels like water coming down on me. I feel the energy, I feel the plasma running through me. So in this video, I'm going to talk about genetically modified organisms. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to identify if the plants or the food that you eat, that you find at a grocery store, are if they're genetically modified or conventionally grown or organic or not, just by looking at the barcode. Real simple method to know what you're eating. So, my thoughts on genetically modified organisms. And I think a good place to start is with the sun, nature. Now, the food that we eat, all of it is an electromagnetic barcode for reading the sun or reading nature, and that's from Dr. Jack Cruz. Now, what this means to me is when you eat something, it gives you information about your environment. So what kind of information? I'm talking information about your energy needs for that environment. It tells you how to make energy. I don't even think it supplies energy. I think it just tells you how to make the energy, how to transmute the energy from your environment. And it tells you what the environment is like what the weather is like, how much oxygen is there, how much is not, so it'll help you compensate for what's not there or for what is there too much. It's information. It's all information. Energy and information. So let's talk about traditional or conventional farming methods. What are my thoughts on those? And it's relevant. That's why I'm bringing this up and switching to it. Now, traditional, conventional farming methods give us a far weaker version of food, and it's weakening us, and it's setting us back or devolving us, in my opinion. And here's why. Here's why I think so. Now, when you farm food, you're basically nurturing the hell out of it. You're protecting the hell out of it. And a big part of nature is survival of the fittest and evolution. All of that stuff plays a role in nature. And the trials and tribulations that the plants, your food has to go through, it's going to give you that information. And it's going to help you be able to navigate that environment at your strongest. Just like that food had to navigate its environment at its strongest. So that's the information that it's going to give you based on its experience. So if it was farmed, it had a nurtured, babied experience. And that's the information that you're going to get. I guess the only good thing about it is that you get the sunlight codes, but there's a lot of other stuff that you don't get aside from sunlight. And even in some cases, some plants and foods that you eat, they don't even get direct sunlight. They get filtered sunlight, like through plastic bags and stuff like this, or through glass. So then the message is altered. But to be fair, all food or all plants don't need a lot of sunlight. Some just need shade. And even in that case, it's reading how much shade it got, so it overcompensates probably in other ways to help you compensate for it lacking the sunlight. Everything's adaptable, and that's just my thinking on the adaptation of plants. So the farming methods, we're eating a weaker version of plants in food just through farming. But I understand it's all about the greater good, and that's why it's done, and that's why we live this way. It's all about the greater good of our civilization. I guess we all can't eat a super perfect, strong plant-based diet or diet. We have to I guess we're eating what everybody can eat collectively, and everyone can't eat top-notch stuff, right, all together. I guess you could if you got your money right, or your situation right, or your independence right, however you want to look at that. So let's talk about, I say all that to build up and talk about genetically modified foods. Now, genetically modified foods, or plants or organisms, take this whole idea to the next level, and this level of being weak and dependent to the next level. Now, I've seen studies years ago. I can't directly quote them right now, but genetically modified organisms, they don't do well in nature. Like they do more poorly than farm plants do in nature. So they're even weaker, and their genetics are altered. So it's definitely wrong information. Like, they're basically not designed to be existing on this planet, because their genes are altered, and they're innovated by man. And how well do you trust man? Do you trust man more than nature? I'll let you think about that. Now, at the end of the day, genetic modification isn't really about feeding us. I think the bottom line is money. Money is always the motivation. You can always follow the money trail. You always get your answers if you follow the money trail about things. Not always. We got good people in this world. Some people are doing things for the right reasons, but a lot of times you can follow the money trail, and money will tell you the motivations behind what's going on. And sadly, the world is money motivated. A lot of the world is money motivated. So I say that because genetic modification, it's about making more money, and it's about making more money by getting the plants to be a certain way that we want them to be, and in the process of doing that, we're disregarding the information that they put into our bodies when we eat them, and we just get mediocre information about our environments, which it's going to affect our health and longevity and these types of things. But many people are willing to make that sacrifice. So if people are willing to make the sacrifice, I guess it's good. It's all about what you're willing to do. Everyone's entitled to do what they want. Now, there's even some even more sinister pathways with this. There's been a lot of coverage in the media about, and I don't want to talk too much about this because I don't know the information that well to really be talking about it. But with farmers and issues with farmers not being restricted by the government, and they can't use certain seeds, or they can't farm in certain methods and this and that. And some companies have monopolies on different seeds and different genetically modified seeds, and they only want them to use that seed, so they design the seeds in such a certain way to keep that monopoly going. And so that I don't confuse myself, I'm just going to stop right there in talking about that. If you know, you know. So in this video, what remains, I'm going to show you how to know if your food is genetically modified when you go to the grocery store by simply looking at the barcode. Okay, let's talk about barcodes. So I'm going to break this down, divide it into 3 categories. So good, poor, and bad. Good, poor, and bad. So in the good category, we would have organic products. When you look at a barcode, an organic product will be a 5-digit number. There'll be a 5-digit number on the barcode, and it will begin with the number 9. Again, 5 digits, and it's going to begin with the number 9. Take a look at the screen. Here's an example. So that's in the good category. Now the poor category. The poor category would be the conventionally farmed category. And conventionally farmed means it's probably pesticides, and they've probably used other things to upkeep it that are excessive, that are kind of detrimental to the plant, but they're not genetically modified. And this would be the conventionally farmed category, and it would be a 4-digit number. A 4-digit number. I think from what I've read that some of these 4-digit numbers begin with the number 4. I'm not sure, but a 4-digit number is conventionally farmed methods. So I put this in the poor category, and even though I'm calling it poor, it's still way better than GMO. So now the last category. The last category would be, of course, the GMOs and genetically modified organisms. And if you look at the barcode on these, it will be, again, a 5-digit number, but it's going to start with the number 8. Take a look at the screen for an example. Again, 5 digits, and it's going to start with the number 8. Now, of course you can look at the barcode, but to know some of these things, but you can also look at labels on foods that actually have labels. Everything doesn't have labels, especially when you go from country to country. Every country has different standards, but you'll see some labels like, for example, these. I'll just put some of these on the screen. Take a look at the screen. Some they'll say they're organic. Some will say that this has a bioengineered ingredient, or this is a bioengineered food. There'll be many different types of labels that let you know what you are eating beforehand. And this can be food straight out of the ground. It can be processed food. Question your program. Question everything, every step of the way. The devil is in the details. Thank you for watching. I love you. I appreciate you. You take care of yourself, and you have a wonderful day.